the worst thing you can do with the only guaranteed hit is go, all right, it's over.
Yeah. And I'll say this. I think that Tony Gilroy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Tony Gilroy did an excellent job with season 1, but I blame Kathleen Kennedy for this release date.
That's the tangent. And here we are. Story 3.
When Star Wars is good,
she had nothing to do with it.
nothing to do with shit on that.
But when Star Wars is bad,
everything is her fault.
why was she directing so much?
Why was she just micromanaging
She shouldn't have starred
everything?
as Luke Skywalker if she didn't want this heat.
That devil woman.
Yeah. Way to wear a mask and play Andy Serkis.
I had this thought in the car that really dawned on me. Sometimes when I think about Kathleen Kennedy, my honest first reaction is, he seems like an unpleasant individual. And then I asked myself, why? And then I went, I have nothing to really back this up with in true detail. And I realized the echo chamber that because of what I'd been exposed to, because that's the thing about an echo chamber. It's a great talking point to say, I don't want to be part of an echo chamber. It's really clever to say that. But sometimes that's the only thing you hear in passing or whatever. And then before you know it, your thoughts are influenced and you have an opinion, sometimes a strong emotion. And then you go,
Where'd that come from?
I don't even know why I have that. Where
What's
did this
that
come
source?
from? And I realized I have that with Kathleen Kennedy.
Okay.
Because I don't really have anything against this individual, Kathleen Kennedy. I agree that Star Wars has been the weirdest, wonky journey since Disney bought it.
Yeah.
It started off strong with Force Awakens, and then Rogue One. Like in terms of, yay, we're back, we're on the right. This is a good starting point. And then Rogue One was. A lot of people love Rogue One. Last Jedi, everyone knows that's when the divide happened. Then but they would announce shit that never gets made. often at like Star Wars Celebration and D23, and nothing gets made. So when something is in rocky territory or shambles, I think it is important to constantly go, who is the leader? I think that's so important to do because it always trickles down from that.
Right.
And a leader in that way, I heard someone, Simon Sinek, he put it interestingly. He said, I think we should get rid of the term CEO and use the word CVO for Chief Visionary Officer, because that's really what a CEO has to do, is be the Chief Visionary Officer to guide this. And when you look at there's a lot of hits and misses. Yeah, it's a mixed bag, and I do feel like it would be an okay time to step down, but I feel like we have to get to a point where we can also acknowledge like the good that's happened. She had something to do with the good that's also happened in the Star Wars universe. Because it's not all black and white, not everything's bad.
It's like Kevin Feige now. He's like, Kevin Feige's dropped the ball. And I was like, No Way Home was when you blame Sony for the Sony movies, but then you don't get Kevin Feige credit for No Way Home. It's like, why was just that one exceptional to you?
Yeah.
But you can be like, Kevin Feige ruined everything after Endgame. It's like, but we've had Shang-Chi and we've had No Way Home. So it's the same thing where it's like, you can blame the leadership when it's bad, but no one credits the leadership when it's good.
That's generally leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if a leader wants credit, it looks bad.
Yeah, then it's like, why is the ego on this leader?
Yeah.
But like, it's funny when you said like when I think of Kathleen Kennedy, I have negative things. I think one of the benefits of me not spending much time on YouTube is when I think of Kathleen Kennedy, I go like, I wonder if she was related to JFK. Like, I don't have any association. I don't think of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't have any pro or con. I've seen her speak. I've been to events, and I'm like, that's that lady. Like, I just don't have any tie.
Yeah.
So like, it's interesting when all this news came out, and like, there's headlines that are like, she's gonna, and then the next day headlines are like, maybe, and then the next headline's like, she's staying, and that happens every year. I'm always just like, you guys think about this lady a lot. I don't have any association with. And I like Star Wars, but I don't like have that devout, oh my God, I have to blame someone. I just go like, what's the next property? Like, is this going to turn itself around? But I'm the same with like Kevin Feige. Like, if I don't like a movie as much as I want to, I don't think he can make everything perfect. But as long as there's more hits than misses, I'm like, let's see where this path goes. And I'm always on the side of like, I can't believe this exists. I'm excited. Now, granted, that can wear down, and that can be something where it's like at some point you need to be like, I'd like some more good than just neutral. But with Star Wars, like maybe it's because I'm not as big of a fan of Star Wars as Marvel, but I don't think about her. I think about the directors. I think about the writers. I think about the studio having certain mandates. Like, maybe she's to blame, but I don't know. So since I don't know, I don't think it's fair to point the finger.
Well, I think when it comes to a movie, it's really, we always want someone to blame for whenever something goes wrong, right? In our lives, it's We all have our. That's why it's a second stage grief because the blame is a natural thing that happens. I'm saying it's the right thing or an okay thing. It just happens. And with a movie, a lot of times you can have the same exact crew make a completely different movie. The directors often work with the same crew.
Yeah.
And they might turn out something that's not good, but the whole time when they're making it for 6 months to a
Feels
year,
great.
feels great. Feels like they're on the path.
It's probably how Love and Thunder felt.
That's how, yeah. So a lot of this stuff ends up going.
Yeah.
So maybe that just happened a little too often with Star Wars. Because, yeah, when you look at the hits that they've had, Mandalorian season 1 and 2, people
Huge.
love the shit out of Mandalorian season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you guys, Kathleen Kennedy had a lot to do with that. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I do think, you know, not with any emotion tied to it, but just for her to step down, once Mandalorian Grogu comes out, that seems like a kind of a chapter ending.
Yes, because that is the actual original thing.
The whole saga's over.
That was created under the Disney umbrella that seems to really have pierced the veil of beyond just going to nostalgia for the Star Wars universe.
It's a new generation's fandom. Like Mandalorian, like my mom didn't care about Star Wars to the same scale. She liked Star Wars, but Grogu made her like, she loves Grogu. So like, I feel like that's the new fandom that she found. So ending there seems natural, but I don't know if she'd step down before that movie.
Well, Din Djarin is my favorite Star Wars character, and he was created under the Disney era. But that's only thanks to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni
She had nothing to do with it.
and Pedro Pascal.
Who she had no hand in pairing up either. The two of them to transition Filoni into live action. And Star Wars Rebels is another Kathleen Kennedy era thing that people love.
Well, she was involved in Lucasfilm and Indiana Jones
She's
and everything.
Spielberg era.
Spielberg era. She's been involved in a lot, so I think there's a lot
Goonies,
to
I
honor
think,
about
was
this
even Kathleen
individual.
Kennedy.
And I feel like when she retires, I don't feel like we need to keep casting stones because it seems. The time I took it real is the day I got an upload of Dan Merle talking, because Dan Merle's not one to just milk a subject like this. So when Dan Merle did a video about it, I was like, oh, this might actually be the time when this might be real, that Kathleen Kennedy might actually step down this time.
Yeah.
And it would be a good time for her to step down. I think after Mandalorian Grogu, it makes sense. There's not a lot greenlit right now. It's coming out. Yeah, it's a solid chapter. And then if she oversought the Mandalorian era.
I feel like Kevin Feige is so excited for X-Men and Fantastic Four. I feel like that's why he didn't want to change any leadership after Endgame. But I feel like if he wanted to do something else, I could see that happening after X-Men. Like, I haven't even seen X-Men, but I'm just saying, like, there is natural progression points, and after Mandalorian and Grogu feels like a progression point, whether you like her or not.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments.
My favorite Star Wars character is Bill Burr.
Who? Bill Burr?
Yeah.
You don't even know the character's name?
It's Space Boston. Bill Burr. Like, he played himself, and I love him.
Mayfield.
Thank you.
I pulled it.
Yeah, I'm proud. I would never have. Yeah, nicely done. Mix Mayfield, nicely done.
I'm about to make fun of Coy, but
then you're like, Mayfield,
can't recall the name right now. And then it came into my brain.
Bill Burr, favorite character in Star Wars. Not Mayfield, Bill Burr.